Hello and welcome back. So I've been watching a lot of near-death experience videos recently, just looking into the different experiences people have. Because for those who have not been following me for very long or have gone through most of my videos, I've gone through one of these as well. I haven't died, but I had what's called a spiritually transformative experience where for about 2 weeks, I call it my spiritual awakening. For about 2 weeks, it felt like walking on heaven, but I was still on earth and still in this body. You know, lights were glowing. You know, I could see people's intentions. I could not only see them, but I could feel them, and I saw them in kind of a smoke, a mist, where it's almost as though their aura would manifest into a creature, for example, teeth. I remember one time in particular, this person didn't really like me, and I knew for a while, kind of would just tolerate me. And this one time he had just simply looked at me, and you could see in his eye, he just wasn't happy to see me, and the smoke transformed into kind of like a demon that was like, it was very interesting. So I've been studying these recently and finding that a lot of people, there's a lot of documented cases where people experience the exact same things and describe them the same way I have. So what does this mean? Today there's so many people that are just going through life with no meaning, no sense of purpose, scrolling endlessly on social media, going to work, coming home, cleaning, living in survival mode, just going through your life day to day to day to day without really having any kind of connection to a deeper part of reality. Ever since I've had this experience myself, I feel like crying there all of a sudden, I've had the deepest urge to tell everyone that there's more, that we feel so heavy while we're here, but there's more. Life is not only going to work and coming home, cleaning, paying bills, cooking supper. Life is so much more than the routine that we often find ourselves trapped by. The social expectations, the pressures that your family will place on you because they believe that's how everybody should live. Therefore, when you do anything different, you're wrong. I have had the deepest urge to express to everyone, and you can see this in my opening video, express to everyone to live your life authentically. To live your life authentically. Now, there's a movement where it's all about positive thinking. People just want to be surrounded by people who only say nice things, only think positive, no negativity at all. And this is so dangerous. It's only another face that we want to put on. Really what they're trying to do is they're trying to protect themselves from feeling the depth that is possible within this human container, the human body that we all inhabit. Hey, Navi. This is my cat, Navi. I don't usually pick her up that often, so you can see on her face, she's like, I don't know. Say hi. So we all inhabit this body, and feeling the ups and the downs are very, very difficult. You might say feeling the ups are not difficult. Feeling an up so high, it feels great. But there's only one way to go after you've been up. And no matter how high you climb, you will always have to be grounded by some form of experience that is its opposite. This whole realm is a realm of opposites. We come here, we experience very high highs, and then we experience very low lows. And what the problem is that a lot of people want only the high. We only want to feel good. So when we feel bad, we try to find meaning. This happened because of this. The reason I am feeling this is because of this. So we narrow the experiences we have into one simple causal factor, missing the grand picture of things. Sometimes we want to just say we experience something so that we can say we are over it. This is because of this, and therefore I don't need to learn that lesson anymore. I am beyond. And then you get a sense of, you feel confident, you feel free from whatever it was that was bothering you until it hits you in the face again and you're back onto the ground. So I felt this, the deepest urge. And the thing is, I can't just tell you in words. I can't give you the experience of what is capable here on Earth, the types of experience we're able to feel by just saying it in words. So I don't really know how to express what it is that I'm trying to say. I don't know how really to give you what it is that I learned or am still learning. And it's not as though what I've learned, it makes me free from any of this. And that's another thing that I want to share with people. And the reason I mentioned that positivity and positive thinking is very dangerous is that the minute you think you're something, even myself, when I had that experience, I felt as though I was beyond all negativity and I didn't have to deal with that anymore. And then bam, it hits you again. It hit me again. And I was back down onto the ground over and over. And the minute you think you're done, you crash. And then we're stuck trying to find meaning in our pain again. But there's so much more. The reason I'm making this video right now is so that you don't get disheartened when you crash. And to also understand for myself why this happened to me. Why this happens to people. Why is it that we come here, some people live a normal life and never have any of these experiences, and then some people have these experiences that seem to be beyond normal comprehension, beyond normal experience on earth. Godly, if you will. For 2 weeks I walked around and everything was glowing. I could hear people's thoughts in my head. I knew things that it was impossible to know. I could have this deep intuition sense that I knew I just know what people's intentions are. My ability to sense bullshit went way up, and because of that, I have to be authentic. I have such a difficult time to be anything but real, and the problem is that everybody is busy trying to be something they're not. My entire message is to be you. And let me kind of bring things back a little bit here. If all you're trying to do is to be positive, then you're really not being authentic. If all you're trying to do is just live in all this love and light, what you're doing is you're ultimately denying half of yourself, if that's what it is. Maybe it's more than half, maybe it's less. You're denying your authenticity. The world, people today live with all these masks. It's no wonder we're so depressed. The heaviness of acting a certain way when what you really mean to say is no or yes. You act a certain way in certain situations in order to feel comfortable, to avoid negativity, to avoid conflict. Why is it so difficult to face conflict in life? I'm still trying to understand that because it is difficult for me. A lot of people come to videos like this because they want to learn how to go past negativity in their own lives. So they look at people that have had these experiences like myself, and they try to maybe mirror what it is that, how I live, how others that experience this stuff live. Maybe something that I might say, or others that have had these experiences, they might say something that might trigger that for you. You'll know now what to do. I'm here to tell you right now, you're not going to get any kind of information that's going to give you that. I am not going to make you whole. No one is going to make you whole. But the wholeness comes when you put the faces down. The problem is, the challenge becomes every single person, a lot of people you will meet are not ready to face you as you really are. What does that do? Well, that creates pain within yourself. So it's easier to fake, carry that heaviness, and oftentimes just to fit in, than it is to be authentic, because everyone's going to not want to be around you. A lot of people are going to want to say, oh, that's bullshit, all this stuff, or why are you being so difficult? They're going to want to make you into the wrong person and themselves into the victim when you're trying to be authentic. So it's a difficult road, but I'm trying to instill the courage necessary, because it takes a lot of courage to say no when everyone expects you to say yes. It takes a lot of courage to face the negative emotions that will rise within you when you act the way you are programmed to. And I don't mean programmed by society. We all come here with certain ways of being. Some people get sad easier, and you see this from the minute that they're born. Some people cry all the time. Other people just always smile. Everyone has a certain kind of tendency that we're born with. And the minute we suppress that to try to fit into the mold that everybody else wants us to be for societal expectations, then we become inauthentic. We become fake. And that's where the depression, that's where all that comes in. When you identify with something you're not. The whole purpose, I believe, of being here is, well, at least what I shouldn't say that's the only purpose for all humans, but I think human beings today, probably now more than ever, need to learn how to be themselves unapologetically, so that everybody can just relax, put our nervous systems at ease, and allow the world to change in whatever way that's going to bring. Now, all of a sudden, people are going to say, well, does that mean if you murder someone because you really want to, then, that's what you should do? I'm not saying go murder anybody at all. I'm not encouraging any kind of negative acts on other people, because there are all kinds of thoughts that go inside your mind. If you look carefully during meditation, you'll find that your thinking pattern, if you feed any, your thinking pattern has the potential to lead in many different directions, good and bad. Okay? What I'm saying is, be aware. Be aware. Be aware. Are you living in a way that is true to who you really are? Are you living in a way that is true to you? Are you? I'm asking you right now. Are you? Now, enough with that quickly. I also want to say in this video, have you had any experiences like this? Have you had what's called a STE, spiritually transformative experience? Have you had an NDE, a near-death experience, where you left the light or you left the body? Have you had anything during meditation where you went into, for example, maybe your light body, where you felt all of a sudden that you were more real, and you're afraid to say these things and bring them out? I think the world needs to learn that these things happen, and to stop judging other people based on Oh, that's fake, that's real. The skepticism has its place, but when you're too skeptical about everything, it closes you off to the possibility of experiencing anything other than your routine life. The trap that we might find ourselves in. My whole message is to be yourself. If everybody was themselves, I'm not saying the world is going to be peaceful. I'm not saying you're going to now all of a sudden live in this but the sense of wholeness you have, and the inner feeling of that is right for me, is far more valuable than just following along. That sense of imprisonment, if you look at it carefully, when you've put a face on just to follow along, it really feels crushing imprisonment. A lot of people say it feels like home because they like to be around other people. A lot of people like to get the recognition, like, yes, you're such a good person and all this stuff. They want to be around others because they when they're around themselves, they might feel that lost and all that negativity. Well, look into that. There's a reason you don't want to be by yourself. Not to say that you should avoid it, but there's a reason. There's maybe the truth is there that you don't want to see. The world needs to be liberated from our masks, is what I'm trying to say. It's time to put our masks down and find that all of us are struggling. We're all putting on masks. It's time to put them down. It's time to take off our masks. So, I leave you with that. And wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this video, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peace.